Hi everybody, welcome to my next installment of my video. This is the 911 Black Edition over here. It's a 997.2 and that's the turbo that you've seen before on a previous video, which is the 997.2 turbo. So let's do a comparison of the Black Edition and what makes the Black Edition, and also what makes the turbo, and what's the difference between the two. Now, since the last video, I sold the Gem 1, Gem 1 997, so 997.1 turbo. Really happy person came and collected that. So hope he's enjoying it. Anyway, so what we got here, let's go straight to it. This is the 997.2 Black Edition. So what we got at the back is the Porsche factory fitted sports exhaust, which is called PSC. The lights are the whited out Black Edition special lights that come with only with the Black Edition, although you can buy it separately. You can see the corner is quite pronounced versus the Gem 1, and all of the white actually lights up in orange for the turn signals and everything else as well. Sports exhaust sounds awesome. I'll fire it up in a little while, let you know what that sounds like. And if you keep looking, the Black Edition comes with the turbo wheels, same as the turbo wheels that you got on the Black Edition. On the turbo itself. So you can see the wheels are exactly the same, which is a really good option. That's what you get with it. And then if you go along here, what else have we got? We've got I put the Sunsport grills on. We've got the LED headlights, LED running lights at the bottom, which is a really good feature. Now, that's a big difference, right, between the 997.2 versus the as in the 997.2 base 3.6, and the difference between that and the turbo is these front pieces here. So if you see along there's like a strip of LED. That strip of LED lights up while you're driving, and also when you've got the headlights on, which is really makes a massive difference when you've got the lights on. It's makes it so bright. Again, like I said, Sunsport full set of grills at the bottom. They protect the condensers. I recommend anyone who buys a 997, 911, any type, do go onto Sunsport and go check out their grills. They're not paying me anything for plugging them, but I just think that they are very good, reasonable price item that protects your car. So I want everyone with a 911 to enjoy it and to not have loads of extra bills. I recommend get yourself a set of those grills. They look pretty smart and they protect the car. So on this side, if you look at the turbo, do you see that front set there, the front running lights? The running lights are really cool, but they don't have a strip. So you get the turbo, which is the best car I've ever driven, and then you drive the 997.2 base and your lights are brighter on the base, and on the turbo it's a lot faster, but the lights aren't as bright as this one. So anyway, I think you can get aftermarket options, but then it starts deterring from what the original car was all about. Let's carry on looking at the differences, right, between this Black Edition, which what makes it a Black Edition from a base. The Black Edition was the last run out of the 997.2 before it became the 991. So the Black Edition, as you can see there, with the standard closure open, came standard with the Bose, came standard with the sports seats, which has got the sport back at the back. You get the PDK option on it. Came standard with the uprated steering wheel. You wind up with a chrono pack, and also the sports exhaust was an option. So you got your Sport Plus, EDK, but both base, black, all black. Well, it came in any colour as long as it was black. Black dials, black dial in the chrono. It's got the latest PSM, which is the latest sat nav unit, and it's got a numbered edition. So there were only 1911 of these produced. Cool number, right? Let's fire it up as well. I'll fire it up for you. So that's what it sounds like when it's fired up. Cold start, special plate. It's in the black edition. The center console's all painted black. It's all black around the side, around the back, and also I'll just go walk around the other side. You wind up with the designation of 911 at the back. You wind up with black edition designation in the sills and a number. This one is number 468 of 1911. So only 1911 of these, fully black, extended leather. You just wind up with all of that as an option. So I really wanted, what I wound up doing was made a mistake. We had a 997.2. We had it for about 7-8 years. It's beautiful. Didn't drive it much, and then decided to trade that one in for the turbo, the Gen 2. And then we're driving along in this, and we kind of missed this basic, what felt more raw, and and it wasn't like you put your foot down and you're worried that you're going to go too fast. Not that there's anything wrong with going too fast if you've got the right the right place to drive, obviously, but the trouble we had was that we were so used to being able to take this anywhere. Like if the road had particular potholes, you just couldn't feel it. You could drive over it, the car could take it. There was no scraping at the bottom, at the front, or anything else like that. As you can see, it's got an upgraded kit at the front on this black edition, but it's nowhere near as aggressive and pronounced as the turbo. And on the turbo, it's actually a lot lower. It sits lower at the front, so you wind up scraping a lot of things, and you don't in the base. Also, the turbo's a lot wider. If you look here, let's go and show the back of it. I mean, that's what makes it the turbo. It's just the hips are a lot wider, and on the base it's a lot narrower. And if you're in the UK, the turbo will set you back about 500 odd pounds in road tax a year, whereas the base will cost you about just under 300 pounds on road tax per year. So all in all, the base suddenly starts looking quite reasonable. So then we decided, let's go and look for another one. What can we get that's gonna be similar but not exactly the same? Because there's no point in buying the car that we had before, although I did try. The guy wouldn't let me have it. He wanted me to pay extra on top to get my same car back. Just shows that you've got to think about what you're going to do. But anyway, we wound up getting this black edition, and we got a pretty good deal. I bought it from a private person, lovely chap, drove it here himself to my house, and I did the transfer to him. He was a little bit, I'd say a bit nervous selling the car privately because it was a lot of money, but he got a good experience with me. I showed him that I was well into the Porsches, and he was glad that it had gone to a good home. So there you go. That's the black edition. I think I'm not sure if you've seen the turbo fired up, but I will show you inside as a comparison of the two anyway. Let's just quickly open that one up as well. So I don't know if I've mentioned, but the turbo is genuinely the best car I've ever driven. So here you go. We've got turbo here. We've got um, the special interior. It's full black. It's got the carbon pieces, carbon there, carbon behind the on the on the on the brake lever. I forgot what it's called there for a second. And then you've got the PDK with the, again, carbon inserts there as well. Some really nice touches, extended leather, um, functional, as you can see, cup holders, which the other one's got as well. And it's got the Bose in this one. I have the PASM on this one, but no chrono pack. I'm not sure you actually need the chrono pack, although I wouldn't mind of having it. I don't think I would have turned it down if it had it, but I'm okay with it not having it too. It is pretty darn fast. There isn't much out there that can keep up with it, and just about everyone wants to race you. Those that know what a turbo is, they want to race you all the time. I try my hardest not to get sucked into it, but there you have it. The steering wheel's heated on this one. It's the old school steering wheel, but I don't know what you reckon. You saw the other one as well. This one's got it's like a matte finish, and it just feels so good. But no, I actually prefer this older one, the older steering wheel, more functional than the other sports one. I know a lot of people go on about that steering wheel, or talk about it not being great and all that business, but for me it's much it feels nicer, although the other one has got its different quirks as well. But it's good. At least you get into each one of these cars and you feel like you're driving something different. It feels completely different. All-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive. You can drift that one. You can't drift this one much at all unless you turn off all the stability management. Even then, the computer tries to take control. As you look at the curves as well, curves on one side are a lot more pronounced than the curves on the other side. Both of them have got the rear wiper, the grille at the back. This one is, you can take this one into a car wash, although I wouldn't take it in the car wash. There was a sandstorm the other day and I've given it a quick jet wash, but as you can see, the sand just came back onto the top. Luckily, it's got a filter between those slats in the engine, so the sand couldn't have got through, which is handy, I think. Luckily, this turbo was in the garage at the time when the sandstorm hit us here in the UK. Yes, in the UK, we wind up with sandstorms during this lovely global climate. But the good news is I have bought both of these, and buying both of these means that only me and the family get to drive them, and we don't drive them exactly the same time. So I'm doing my bit for the environment by making sure that I have taken 50% of these cars off the road, as in 50% being these two cars. They won't get driven exactly the same time, only one at a time. So happy days for the environment, I'd say. Anyway, I hope there isn't any environmentalist who's going to be having a go at me about that. But these cars are genuinely beautiful. The Porsche turbo wheels are exactly the same on the Black edition. If you can see there, exactly the same. The only difference there is the calipers are a completely different setup, and the amount of metal on the drilled discs are completely different as well. On the turbo, they're a lot bigger, and the calipers are a lot bigger as well, more uprated, and they're red. And on the Black edition, as you guessed it, they couldn't be any other color but black, although you could paint them. Wouldn't recommend it. So there you have it. That's the comparison of my 911 997.2 turbo and my 911 997.2 Black edition 3.6 base PDK. Wow. I mean, you got to be proper geek to get a 911, and you got to love engineering, and that's what we like. That's what we love. Thank you for all my followers. Thank you for watching the video, and I'll be showing you another video with it all fired up, and we will go for a drive fairly soon in one of them, and I'll try and show you a video of the differences in driving between the two as well. All right, thank you. Bye bye.